Okay, the next thing is cross-site request forgery, or XSRF, sometimes referred to as CSRF or CSRF. And this is basically exploiting a website's trust in a user, whether it's an application, IP address, etc. So it's often referred to as a one-click attack or session routing. Okay, and I mentioned it's pronounced CSRF. So it requires the victim to have recently visited the target website and have a valid cookie that's not expired. Okay, we covered this a little bit before in another video, but I want to make sure that you understand we have cross-site scripting, we also have cross-site request forgery, and where the two kind of fit in. So XSRF example would be we have an attacker. They're going to basically give you a link, visit poor you, as in this example, right, .com. So that user, the victim, will click on that link. They'll go within their browser to the attacker server because it's a malicious link, remember. So they're going to go to pouryou.com. They're going to get a response back. That response is going to contain an invisible form that is going to have the ability to pull the cookie and the credentials off of that user's session and then post to a specific bank server in this example. And it will do so with that victim, right, the target's credentials. So this is more or less a very specific type of an attack. It's not going to be widespread, obviously. The attacker kind of has to know, or just kind of cast a net and see who they get. Hopefully they get lucky, but typically they're going to do it in a more targeted fashion. They're going to go after a specific victim, and then once they get that link over to the victim, that victim clicks on it, goes out to the malicious server, gets that response back. The invisible form is going to pull the credentials, right, the session information off of that victim's computer, post it to a legitimate server, in this case, a bank server, okay, the victim's bank. Since the victim's credentials are in fact valid with that bank server, then the attacker will be able to log in, or at least hijack that session as if they were the victim, and then have access to the bank's databases and be able to do things that the victim themselves would be able to do. So very dangerous if it is in fact able to be carried out successfully. And then just so you understand the differentiation between the two and what the distinctions are, in an XSS attack, a cross-site scripting attack, the browser will run malicious code because it was served from a site that it trusts. All right, so the trust is coming from the server, right? The browser to the server. In a CSRF attack, the server will perform the action because it was sent a request from a client that it trusts. Okay, so you understand the differentiation. In an XSS attack, the browser or the user, right, that their web browser is going to run malicious code because it trusts the web server. In a CSRF attack, the web server is going to perform an action because it trusts the client. All right, so I just want to make sure you understand those key differentiations.